Introductions. During the period of Second World War, Indian freedom struggle had become more extensive. The demand for independence of India was gaining its strength. The British ruler realized that it was necessary to take a serious note of started preparing various plans for granting independence to India. The Indian National Congress was founded on the principle of the secularism. In that times, the Britishers used the policy to weaken the movement, and in that times they used policy of divide and rule. In 1930, Dr. Muhammad Iqbal, a well-known poet, put forth the thought of an independent Muslim state. Later, Chaudhary Rahmat Ali put up the idea of Pakistan. Barrister Muhammad Ali Jinnah put forth the two-nation theory and demanded a separate Muslim nations named the Pakistan. Indian National Congress was only a Hindu organization and the Muslims have no benefit of it. Such a kind of propaganda was started by Barrister Jinnah and the Muslim League. Now, the Wavell Plan. As per the Wavell Plan, in June 1945, Lord Wavell, the Viceroy of India, drew up a plan. There were different provisions in this plan. Accordingly, some of its provisions were that in the central and provincial legislatures, Muslim, Dalit, minorities should be given proper representation and there will be equal number of Hindu and Muslim members in Viceroy's Executive Council. A meeting of all major political parties in India was organized at Shimla to consider the Wavell Plan. Barrister Jinnah insisted that only the Muslim League should have the right to suggest the names of Muslim representatives to the Viceroy's Executive Council. But the Congress opposed it. Therefore, the Wavell Plan could not be successful. Now, Cabinet Mission Plan. Now, Cabinet Mission. After the end of Second World War, the British rulers were in favor of granting freedom to India. In the Parliament, British Prime Minister Attlee clarified the British policy regarding India. According to it, the right of Indian people to draft their own constitution was recognized. It was also made clear that the issues of minorities will not come in the way of India's independence. In March 1946, delegations of British ministers, namely Pethick Lawrence, Stafford Cripps, and A.V. Alexander, put forth England's plan regarding India in front of the Indian leaders, and this is called Cabinet Mission. Some of the provisions in the plan were not acceptable to the Congress. Similarly, there was no provisions of independent state for the Muslim, and so Muslim League was unsatisfied, and therefore Cabinet Mission was not fully accepted. Direct Action Day. Since the demand for Pakistan was not being fulfilled, the Muslim League decided for direct action. Accordingly, 16 August 1946 was declared to be observed as a Direct Action Day by the Muslim League. The followers of the Muslims resorted to violent ways. There were Hindu-Muslim riots in various parts of the country. There were massacres in the Naukali regions in the province of the Bengal. To stop this violence, Gandhiji went there without giving any thought of his own life. He tried his best to establish peace there. Establishment Unity of the nation was the basic stand of Indian National Congress, but the Muslim League remained adamant on the creation of Pakistan. National Congress was left with no option but to accept the decision of partitions with complete helplessness. Indian Independence Act. On 18 July 1947, on the basis of Mountbatten Plan, the Indian Independence Act was passed in British Parliament. On 15 August 1947, the two independent nations, India and Pakistan, will come into existence. Thereafter, the British Parliament will not have any control over them. The British supremacy over the princely states will also come to an end. The Act provided them the right to either join India or Pakistan or remain independent. India gains independence. As per the Indian Independence Act, India was granted independence on 15 August 1947. A meeting of the Constituent Assembly was going on in the Hall of Parliament House in Delhi in the midnight of 14 August 1947. At the stroke of midnight hour, India's independence came to an end. The Union Jack of Britain was lowered and in its place the Indian tricolor flag was unfurled. India attained independence from the 150 years of slavery. The joy of attainment of freedom was not unattained. Indian peoples were grieved due to the partition of the country and the terrible violence during that period. Instead of joining the celebration of independence, Gandhiji was striving hard in Bengal. Within 6 months of attainment of freedom of India, Gandhiji was brutally assassinated by Nathuram Godse on 30 January 1948. Gandhiji strove day and night to preserve Hindu-Muslim unity and laid down his life for the same.